and welcome to another episode of Disney Movie Investigation. If this is your first time watching, welcome to the show. In each episode, we take a look at a movie that is featured on Disney+. On this episode, we are taking a look at the early 2000s comedy Bride Wars, starring Kate Hudson and Anne Hathaway. And stay tuned for our bonus story as we take a look at the wedding short Tangled Ever After. And if you are enjoying these episodes, I do ask that you please hit that subscribe button. That way you'll be notified with each new episode. Now, sit back and enjoy this episode of Disney Movie Investigation. So like I said, today we're covering Bride Wars. This movie was released on January 9th, 2009. It was directed by Gary Winnick. The screenplay was by Greg DePaul, Casey Wilton, June Diane Raphael. And the production companies were Fox 2000 Pictures, Regency Enterprises, New Regency Productions, Birdie Productions, and Dune Entertainment, and it was distributed by 20th Century Fox. The budget for this movie was $30 million, and it did a box office return of $115.8 million. But let's take a look at the production. So originally this movie was conceived as a teen comedy, and the lead role would have been Emma Roberts. The script, however, was retooled, and it was actually completed before the 2007 to 2008 Writers Guild strike. Because it was completed just before, there was actually no additional rewrites to the screenplay. Obviously, when the strike, pencils are down. So filming would take place at the Peabody Essex Museum in Salem, with additional location shooting in Boston, New York City, and Salem. The score was composed by Edward Schirmer, who would record the score with a 77-piece orchestra of the Hollywood Studio Symphony. But let's take a look at the cast. So we have Kate Hudson, who plays Olivia Lerner, Anne Hathaway, who plays Emma Allen, Kristen Johnson plays Deb Delgado, Brian Greenberg plays Nathan Lerner, Chris Pratt plays Fletcher Flemson, Steve Howey is Daniel Williams, and Candice Bergen is Marion St. Clair. So in terms of the plot, in Manhattan, lawyer Liv and teacher Emma have been best friends since childhood, dreaming of eventually getting married. Their boyfriends propose to them on the same day, and they plan for their wedding parties to be at the Plaza Hotel using the services of the famous Marion St. Clair. However, Miss St. Clair's secretary made a mistake scheduling their weddings for the exact same day. Neither agrees to change the date, and they become enemies, trying to sabotage each other's wedding plans. So in terms of some trivia for this movie, there's not a lot. It was a kind of a basic romantic comedy, but the movie was actually nominated for several Teen Choice Awards, and Anne Hathaway would take home a Teen Choice Award for Best Actress. In terms of recommending the movie, this movie is okay, not great. I find that Anne Hathaway, given the career that she has now, kind of overshadows everybody in this movie. Her acting skills, I think, are a lot better than everyone else in the movie. So it's a level of, there's an uneven level of acting in this one, and she kind of tends to dominate all the scenes that she's in. The script is, like, in terms of the script and the story, it's okay. Not really great. It's not one that I'm going to go over to watch over and over again, especially when there's Bridesmaids, which I think does a way better job of this type of concept of wedding comedy. So this one was before Bridesmaid, but Bridesmaid kind of perfected this kind of zany wedding comedy. So definitely, it's worth checking out, especially if you're a fan of Anne Hathaway, because she does an amazing job in this movie, but it's not one of her standout performances, and obviously she would go on to way bigger things. So let's move on to our bonus story as we take a look at Tangled Ever After. This short was released on January 13th, 2012. It was written and directed by Nathan Grano and Byron Howard. The production companies was Walt Disney Animation Studios, and it was distributed by Walt Disney Pictures. In terms of the history of the short, this served as a sequel to the 2010 animated movie Tangled, and the movie would actually later bridge the gap between Tangled the movie and the animated series Rapunzel's Tangled Adventure. In terms of the release history of the short, it would be first released as a bonus kind of pre-short before Beauty and the Beast 3D. And then it would appear on the Disney Channel after the Disney Channel premiere of The Princess and the Frog. This was heavily promoted in the Disney store, because actually people who shopped at the Disney store would receive wedding invitations inviting them to save the date, and that being the day that it premiered on the Disney Channel. The short has appeared on several DVD sets, including the Cinderella Diamond Edition as a bonus feature, as well as the Walt Disney Studios Animated Shorts Collection. It is featured on that as well. In terms of what the short is about, the short is the wedding of Rapunzel and Flynn Rider, and the Maximus and Pascal end up losing the rings and are on a crazy adventure to try and get them back. In terms of recommending it, it is very funny, something you should definitely check out. And the animation is really good, and it's just kind of like a way to wrap up everything that happened in Tangled. So definitely recommend it. It's only 9 minutes long, and it is available on Disney+. So thank you so much for joining us here on another episode of Disney Movie Investigation. I would invite anyone to please leave a comment below on what they thought of Bride Wars, as well as if you've seen the short Tangled Ever After. I would love to know what you thought of it as well. So as we move on to our next episode, we're going to stay in the kind of romantic comedy, but this one time we're going to mix in a little bit of fantasy as we take a look at the beloved classic, The Princess Bride. So until next time, I hope you have a magical day, and we will see you real soon.